Good morning, everyone. I am Shanieka Rañopa. I'm going to tackle about intercultural communication. Intercultural communication is literally communication between people of different cultures. Edward T. Hall, Jerry Philipson, Gert Hofstede, and Donald Carbo are some of the contributors of this theory. Model of culture developed by Selfridge and Sokoloff and W. L. French and C. H. Bell identifies a visible area consisting of behavior or clothing or symbols and artifacts of some form and a level of values or an invisible level. The 10% that we see in culture comprises words. This is the unit of language in speech or writing, the tonality, the quality of the sound, or how the message is being delivered, and the body language. The 90% that we don't see in culture comprises the values, the moral principle of a person, the experiences, the beliefs or the religious faith, and feelings. What is actually culture? Culture has varied meanings, and one of the meaning given by Jerry Philipson is culture is a socially constructed and historically transmitted pattern of symbols, meanings, premises, and rules. This is Jerry Philipson, a professor of communication at the University of Washington who specializes in intercultural communication and says that culture is not basically geographical. He studies culturally distinctive codes of communicative conduct and is the originator of the influential speech codes theory and empirically grounded, testable, and tested scientific theory. In 1984, he received the university's Distinguished Teaching Award. What a beautiful smile from Gert Hofstede. He was born as Gerard Hendrik Hofstede, an influential Dutch researcher in the fields of organizational studies and more concretely organizational culture, also cultural economics and management. He is a well-known pioneer in his research of cross-cultural groups and organizations and played a major role in developing a systematic framework. He is Donald Carbo. He is a professor of communication. He has also held academic appointments at the University of Pittsburgh, the University of Helsinki. His general interests focus upon cultural philosophies of communication and more specifically the ways culturally distinctive practices get woven into international and intercultural interactions. This is the cultural dimension. It comprises the power distance, the uncertainty avoidance, masculinity, individualism, and long-term orientation. Cultural dimension is a widely accepted industry tool that is used to measure cultural differences. The commonly used dimensions is Gert Hofstede's cultural dimensions. The contributions from all the research data validated earlier findings and helped Hofstede to develop a model that identifies four primary dimensions of culture to assist in differentiating cultures. The first cultural dimension is the power distance. This dimension expresses the degree to which the less powerful members of a society accept and expect that power is distributed unequally. The fundamental issue here is how a society handles inequalities among people. High power distance society accepts an unequal distribution of power and people understand their place in the system. The next one is the uncertainty avoidance. The uncertainty avoidance dimension expresses the degree to which the members of a society feel uncomfortable with uncertainty and ambiguity. The fundamental issue here is how a society deals with the fact that the future can never be known. Should we try to control the future or just let it happen? Masculinity. The masculinity side of this dimension represents a preference in society for achievement, heroism, assertiveness, and material reward for success. Society at large is more competitive. Its opposite, femininity, stands for a preference for cooperation, modesty, caring for the weak, and quality of life. Society at large is more consensus-oriented. Individualism. The high side of this dimension, called individualism, can be defined as a preference for a loosely knit social framework in which individuals are expected to take care of themselves and their immediate families only. Its opposite, collectivism, represents a preference for a tightly knit framework in society. The long-term orientation. This dimension can be interpreted as dealing with society's search for virtue. Societies with a short-term orientation generally have a strong concern with establishing the absolute truth. They are normative in their thinking. They exhibit great respect for traditions, a relatively small propensity to save for the future. To sum it up, intercultural communication is the process of interaction between people of different cultures. Gerd Hofstede's cultural dimensions theory provides a framework for assessing the differences between nations and cultures. I hope you have learned something from my presentation. Thanks for watching!